Okay, welcome back to day 10. Today we're going to talk about what to look for, how to spot the areas that you want to potentially take a position for buys or sells. So, don't mind me, I'm doing laundry right now, so it might be a little bit loud, but in the meantime, let's get over the confusion. So first, we know we have to look at the daily and the weekly, am I right? And we need to look for 3+ touches. For example, 1, 2, 3, right? But, okay, Ivan, when do we apply this to the strategy? How do we know what to look for? Like, the zones, the support and resistance can be here, it can be here, it can be anywhere, right? Why are we looking for it? Well, we are looking for it so we can potentially find where the big boys are, and then we follow where the big boys want to move and enter with them instead of against them. So let me give you an example right now. It's ADJPY. We're at the weekly. So we know how to read the market. We know how the structures work. So this is the next structure. Again, same thing. From here, you look left. This is the previous curve. So that's why the structure is here. So then, this is where things get interesting. We only want to look at the support resistance from the highest and the lowest point of the structure points. Okay? Let me repeat that. We want to first spot the highest and lowest point, look to the left, find the structure. Once you find the structure, this area is what we're focused on when we are looking for potential buys or sells in support and resistance. So now from the weekly, we want to zoom in where most of the support and resistance are. So already I can find one. See, if you just expand all of this out, right? Let me just go back. How many support and resistance can you find? All right. Okay, Ivan, why are we looking for support and resistance? Again, because there's like X amount of factors that can happen. Price can pull back here as a support to buy to move up. Price can go pull back down here and then go up. Price may even go all the way down here and pull up. You see how there's like so many X factors? That's what we want to look for. We don't want to look for any of these that are not in the structure zone. Yes, the possibility of price disrespecting the structure and going up like that is still possible. But when you have support and resistance within the highest point and the lowest point, it gives you a better odd of potentially going to the upside. So right now, what we want to do is look for the areas where we want to potentially buy. Why? Because this weekly is bullish. So, boom, there's one right here. See that? Oh, there's one right here. Let me do this one first. See? This one's clean. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, 4, 5. Close. This is all resistance, 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 right? And then if I just move this a little bit up, there's a support. Boom. There we go. 1. So I can even do this to try to get that one. And boom. This is a nice little weekly area of interest. And this is already pretty strong in its own way because the weekly time frame is more respectable and has more volume. Same thing with the daily. If you want to trade in the daily, we look for the highest and the lowest. So in that case, it would have been right here. And then from there, we want to slowly look for the areas for the daily, you see, to potentially buy. So we want to look, but chances are the daily, if you can find the area of interest from the weekly, chances are it's going to be in the daily already. See how all the dailies are covered? More of these are being tapped in the daily versus the weekly, which is good. Another example, boom, already, what do you see here? This is currently bearish. See that? Because mid higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, and then break up structure right here. So right here. So our main focus is look for the highs and the lows. Boom. Maybe it's better if I just use my mouse. And then boom. So we want to look for 3 touches. And then we just zoom in from here to look for how many touches. As you can see, there's 3 touches right here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. So chances are if the price pullbacks up here, resistance. See, it's pretty high probability here. And that's how you find the area of interest. Same thing. What do you look for? Look for the previous structure right here. And then the low, and from there, go from the lowest and the highest point. And then go from here. Look for the zones over here. And what do you see? Where would the zone be? Probably right here, am I? No, you're wrong. There is no support resistance here. Therefore, there is no trade opportunity, and therefore, I am not interested. Because if there's no zones, if there's no support and resistance for us to leverage from, then there's really no opportunity. It's a high risk trade because big boys don't like to trade in this area, meaning that there's just no opportunity. I can look at the weekly to try to force something out, and right off the bat, where is it? The structure point is right here. Why? Because if I just turn this off and use the line, boom, see that? That's the recent elbow right here. Okay, same thing, turn this back on. So yeah, this is why this is the previous structure point, and then from there, same thing, look at the highest and the lowest. From there, we look for areas, and boom, already, what do you see? We see a structure point right here. Kind of ish. No, there's still no support and resistance, because I mean this will work. Support, resistance. This would be a nice little area of interest. You know, it's kind of lucky that it's kind of still okay, because anything thicker than this is probably not good support and resistance. These are still somewhat kind of close, but for example, if it's like this and I have to extend my box all the way down here, this is already too freaking chunky. So it's too freaking chunky. I would not apply this as the support and resistance. It's just too much and too less profit for us to make from here. Like, this is still okay. There's a touch there, touch. This is still okay. It's still okay. But of course, ideally, you want to be as close as possible, because that's where the sauce is, you know? Okay, yeah. So back to where the area zone is, we would potentially look for this. Now, ideally, you want to wait for a structure to happen. If there's a structure here, then it would have been like a good trade to look. But right now, this weekly is still not closed yet. It's still wicking. So it could potentially close here and call it a day, and then we will still have to wait for a structure to pull back up. So then we can continue looking for an area of interest to then take a trade during a support or resistance and then go to the downside. But right now, it's very in the middle. It's not ready yet. I'm gonna give you guys another example. For example, this one, weekly See, you can even put the lowest point right here. If you guys don't know where is the lowest point, just again turn off, no gaps, turn on the line, and boom, you find the structure right there. Just put the line right there. And yeah, this is the previous structure, same thing, from top to bottom, up, and from there, we look left. We always want to look left when we're trading. And then try to find some area of interest, try to find some support and resistance. What do you guys see? Exactly, I see nothing. Because there's nothing. There's no support resistance here that's good for execution. Even if I try to squeeze one in, like the most here is just 2 taps. That's about it. Yeah. Ivan, should I count this? I mean, at the end of the day, it's really just preference. If it's hard to look for it, you just do this. I would count this, but I would not at the same time, depending on my risk tolerance. So yes, this would count as a structure to go to the downside, but again, usually I would prefer a much more cleaner. This doesn't look that clean. When I mean clean, I mean like you can see with the candlestick that it turned. This one you can't really see that it turned. This is more like a box going to the downside instead of like a V. This is less like a V. Like you don't really see the V, so I don't really like counting that. See, this is what I mean. Like you can see the V here. You can see the V here. You know. Yeah. See how this? I can see the V. It goes like that and then goes straight here. But here you can't really see the V, you know. It kind of just looked like it just went straight. This one is more like a, instead of a V, it's more like a Z. See? It's like that. So this is not really that attractive, you know. I mean, there's still the triangle, there's still the curve, but it's not as attractive, you know. Because you really want that strong rejection from the big boys. So then you want to enter in with them and then go to the downside. So there's no areas from the weekly. Then you go to the daily. Same thing. We can look for the hook left. Same thing. The lowest point and the highest point. And already I can low-key kind of spot one right here. See that? Resistance, resistance. Now we just need to look for support. We're able to find it. Oh, this is good. We are able to find it. See that? I can even play around with it to get all 3 of these touches here. 1, 2, 3 touch, 4 touch. When we get that, we can count that as 5 touch. And 6, 7. This is good. This is a good area of interest. So I would, what do I do? Wait for this strip destruction and go to the upside. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Of course, right now we're just trying to learn how to find the support resistance when you want to take a trade. Ivan, why is this not in your top weekly if there is daily area of interest? Well, it's because I look at the weekly and I don't like it. See, it's creating higher highs. We'll get to that in the next video. Today we're just looking for area of interest, but there's a way to tell if price is ready to take that trade or not. Right now it is not ready yet. It's not even on the way. You know, it's more like creating higher highs, you know. But I'll get more into that in depth. Right now I just want to clarify how to find the areas where you want to potentially look for buys and sells. We already understand how to look for the 3 touches, see 1, 2, 3, but to actually apply it into real life scenario is a little bit more difficult and tricky because not all the time you'll be able to find the support resistance within the price structure that you want to take a trade in. So this is just a way to hopefully clarify. So I'll do one last example. We look at the weekly, okay? Again, highest point in the previous structure, look back, skim through, look and see where is the potential most likely taps. In that case, it would be right here. Maybe I'm going too fast, but in the beginning you should take your time to look for it. But it's just, for me, I can just already eyeball it right away. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, boom. So this is a really good respectable area, right? You can do this and then go to the, oh shoot, I messed up. So yeah, this is low-key kind of okay, ready to trade, and then go to the downside like that. Ivan, why is it not in your top list? Again, we'll dive this deeper tomorrow. There's a reason why this is not in my top list, even though it's at the support and resistance. It's like ready to be in a position, right? We'll go over all this further down, but today is just mainly focusing on finding the support and resistance to prepare yourself to trade, right? So yes, there is the weekly zone right here, but look at the daily. Exactly, the daily already is indicating that the price no longer wants to go down. Yes, the weekly is telling us that, okay, it's still going to go down, am I right? But the daily is like, if you look closely in me, I'm actually trying to go up. See that? Again, you want to look left. When you look left, what do you see? That, and then continue to look left, you see that the lowest point has been broken. And this is now the lowest point, and this is now the highest point. And now the highest point has been broken, which is why this is currently bullish. If you think this is confusing, you need to go back to my workshops video. If you think I don't make it clear enough, then tell me, let me know in the comments down below. I'll make another video about how to like find the bullish bearish structures. So, because I don't want to move on unless you guys like understand it, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get all the confusions aside. And this is why it's not in my top pair, because the weekly is telling me that it's trying to go down, but if the daily is telling me that it wants to go up, then eventually the weekly will catch on and it'll continue to go like this. Because at the end of the day, the smaller time frames will eventually become the big time frames. Again, like I said, the smaller time frames are here, blah 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 blah. And so basically, inside of the weekly, the daily is telling me that it wants to go up, and then eventually it'll create that weekly momentum, and then see, it may either go up or down. This is why it's so confusing if you don't have the trend in your favor. Right now the weekly is bearish, but if the daily is bullish, this can happen. The candlestick closure can close right here, and then next week it'll close up there, right? Unless the daily tells me otherwise, that it wants to go down with the weekly, then I won't be interested in this trade at all. You know what I mean? Even though this is a clean support and resistance, and even though if I take a trade right now, the probability of me losing is still high, but I still won't, lose a lot because the RR is there. So even though I can take a trade right here, right now, and if it goes down, I would still make 1-to-3 ratio, right? But this is just not a high setup. It's just really not a high setup. Do I really want to risk my money, my hard-earned money, just to potentially make 3 times the amount? Yes, but if the probability is low, you're basically just losing your money for free, even if the potential is there. Let me give you an analogy. Like, you can, let me think. Damn, I need to really work on my analogies. I'm really bad at this. But of course, if the reward is there, and are you really gonna take it if there's something to lose? Because it's really bad. You know what? I'll think of an analogy for you guys. Sorry about that. All right. And with that, I'm gonna end the class. Bounce.